I'm Katie Nicolato, an arborist community expert, and this is how you film tree climbing with a drone.
Drones are a unique and underutilized method for filming tree climbing, likely because they are challenging to fly near tree canopy and there can be lots of dangers. But if done safely and professionally, drones can add badass shots to your climbing videos and provide educational footage. The most important thing to understand before watching this video is that safety should always be the #1 priority when flying a drone, especially around tree climbing. It is your sole responsibility as the pilot in command to decide whether to launch the aircraft, whether the site is safe for drone videography, and whether the operations and crew are managed safely enough to film. Before using a drone to film tree climbing, first evaluate if you should.
In this video, I'll be covering the following topics in this order: drone piloting before you fly, safety rules and etiquette, filming techniques, and pro tips.
Drone piloting before you fly. Drones are also called unmanned aerial vehicles or systems, or remote aircraft. The drone operator is called the pilot in command, or PIC. The Federal Aviation Administration, or FAA, is the governing body for drone operations in the United States. If you sell your drone services or footage commercially, you need to obtain an FAA Part 107 remote pilot license. Recreational drone pilots are not required to gain a license for flying, but should have basic knowledge of drone safety and regulations. Safety rules and etiquette. You can't just fly anywhere. Check the rules and regulations of the municipality or landowner where you are flying. You may need special permission to fly in certain areas or cannot fly at all. Check the local notices to airmen and the weather forecast before you fly. Take note of wind and rain in particular. Wind in the canopy can push the drone into branches and obstacles, and rain can destroy your electronics. When preparing to launch, contact the appropriate jurisdiction if necessary to let them know you are beginning operations. Additionally, conduct a pre-flight equipment check and group safety briefing.
You are legally obligated to keep the drone within line of sight at all times. This means either you need to be able to see the drone at all times, or you need a visual observer who can keep in communication with you that has their eyes on the drone. Do not fly the drone while you are in the tree yourself.
Never fly on an empty stomach, while tired, while emotional, or while too cold or hot. This can result in poor decision-making, complacency, and accidents. Filming techniques. Practice positioning the drone between branch unions without endangering the climber. Experiment with filming from above, below, and straight on. Find perfect openings in the canopy to film the climber unobstructed. Change your piloting location to different sides of the tree and different distances from the climber. Consider your use of motivated versus unmotivated shots. Motivated shots follow the climber wherever they go, and unmotivated shots move independently of the climber. Also consider your use of moving versus still shots. Moving shots can sometimes get very tiring for the viewer. Plan your tree rigging and flight preferably so you can have some more open areas to film, and the lighting will hit the climber just right. Try banking shots. Tree climbing also presents the perfect application for rotating shots around the tree stem. Smoothly follow the climber on ascent and descent. Anticipate their moves and put the drone slightly above or below to keep the climber in the frame. You can use gimbal movement or vertical flight paths to achieve this. Modify your camera settings for lighting in the canopy. This includes shutter speed, ISO, exposure, white balance, frames per second, and gimbal speed. I recommend reducing gimbal speed so you have better control. Modify settings for video capture, including the resolution and whether you want to record in a RAW file format. You can also use neutral density filters to control the amount of light entering the camera. You can also use a sunshade surrounding the camera to reduce sun glare. Do not film into the sun. Try to put the sun behind or next to you. Videos are engaging and compelling when they tell a story instead of showing footage without intention. Capture creative B-roll to tell that story in your final product. This includes handheld shots, aerial shots of landscape features, candid shots of climbers, micro shots of plants and gear. The options are limitless. Landscape shots can be good establishing shots to describe the location and set the scene. Try to integrate some fun originality into your shots without taking dangerous risks. Practice smoothly manipulating the controls to create curving dynamic shots instead of up and down, right and left, forward and backward only. Pro tips.
Pinch grip instead of the classic thumbs. I prefer to use a landing pad when I'm doing this. Another one is to land on stumps. I land on old growth logs and the hand catch. Propeller guards are great tools for people that are less confident in their abilities, but note that they can change the behavior of the aircraft. Remember, safety should always be the #1 priority when using a drone to film tree climbing operations. Enjoy the amazing shots you capture, and happy flying!